What's up, guys? So I'm actually gonna give you guys a rough breakdown about my whole journey of entrepreneurship and my journey on Airbnb. So short story, I'm 29 years young now, and I've been an entrepreneur really since the age of 18. I started off by buying and selling phones when I was like 18 to 21, made good money. Usually most months I was making about 5 to 10K a month, but what I realized is that it's a side hustle, it wasn't a business. For me to make money, I had to be present, I had to go buy a phone, I had to go sell the phone, and I realized it wasn't going to be able to turn into a real business, and that's why I kind of stepped away from that side hustle at the age of 21. From the ages of 21 to 25, I really got into the network marketing or MLM industry. I had joined a few different companies and never really saw crazy success in money-wise, but I did see success in personal growth. I got around mentors that were making millions of dollars per year, that were very successful, that were driving the nice cars, and all these things, and it opened my eyes to the level of like personal growth and reading books and listening to podcasts and all these things, which made me grow, even though I never made more than $2,000 a month in network marketing, even though I did it for multiple years. But through that industry, I also got into a trading company that got me introduced to like Forex trading and then eventually crypto. And in 2020 and 2021, I got very deep into the crypto industry with a lot of smaller coins, altcoins, and I started doing pretty good for myself. In fact, I built a free group on Telegram to almost 800 to 900 members. I was giving out free trades with my knowledge and my experience, and I was making people money outside of just myself. I actually grew my personal crypto portfolio from almost $10,000 nearly to $100,000 in the bull market of like 2020, 2021 era. But I realized at the end of the day, the crypto was a gamble. It was not a real business. I did not have real control over what would happen. It was just me hoping and praying that the crypto coins would go up and I could get rich. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys have maybe found those situations where you've started a business or you've got into crypto and you never really felt confidence. That's kind of how I felt. Short story, within a few months, the bear market happened. I started losing money. And during that period, I also went through a personal bad journey where I pretty much went through a dumb lawsuit situation. I lost everything I had. I had to go through a bankruptcy. And in my first time in my life, I actually sat in a negative bank account. During my ages of like 18 to 25, I always made money. I always typically had 5 figures saved in my bank. I was always pretty good with my money. But in that era, I had to go through a bankruptcy because of a dumb lawsuit situation, put me at my lowest point. And at this point now, my credit score had dropped from like a 780 to around 500. My bank account went from nearly 6 figures in the bank to below negative bank balance. And I had like no opportunities in my hand at that time. But what I went to do is I went back to work. I got back into doing Uber, which I used to do in like 2018 to make some money. Got into Uber, started working 30, 40, 50-hour weeks Uber, saved some money again, and then I actually got into the not into the network marketing industry, but I got into the financial spaces industry, more specifically into life insurance sales, where one of my buddies that I knew from a previous industry got me into it. And even though it was not something I actually wanted to do in the moment, I realized there was money involved, and at that point in my life, I was willing to do whatever it took to make 10, 20, 30K months. And that's exactly what happened to me. I got into the life insurance industry, and within 6 months, I was usually making anywhere from 10 to 25K a month doing life insurance sales. So pretty decent money, saved some money. And what I realized is I didn't like that industry just because it's not a business, it's sales. For me to make money, I had to consistently work 8 a.m. to like 6 p.m. almost every day, 5 to 6 days a week for me to make 10, 20K a month in that industry. And I kind of just got tired of it. It was not something I saw myself doing in the long run. And that's when I actually was looking for different business opportunities. Maybe someone that's watching this video, maybe you're looking for a different vehicle, different business opportunity. And for me, when I was Googling different business opportunities out there, I actually came across a random YouTube video through an ad where it was Grant Cardone, big real estate guy, interviewing a guy named Brian Page on how you can make money without owning any real estate. More specifically, the Airbnb arbitrage industry. And this is when I got introduced to this world of Airbnb arbitrage. And short story, I bought a few different courses. I bought into different coaching programs. And within about 90 days, I had actually landed my first Airbnb property. sitting in Chicago, I landed my first deal in Houston, Texas that I never even went out to go visit. So I like the business because I can actually leverage 0% business credit cards to do it. I don't have to involve a lot of time to do this business. I learned that you can scale it easily once you learn how to actually do it. And that's what really got me into the business. So once I picked up my first property, it did decent. I wasn't the most successful at it, but I learned about the business, and I learned that a lot of the business can be automated. It could be delegated. And that's when I kept pursuing the business and I scaled up to more properties. I actually picked up multiple units in Chicago during the high season of the summer. And within a few different properties in Chicago, I started making over $10K a month profit. And that's when I knew this business had a lot of potential. From there on, short story, I got into also teaching and coaching other people. I actually created a free Telegram group where I had hundreds of people join, where I was giving out free value on the Airbnb arbitrage industry and my journey of doing this business. And short story from there, I actually started getting into the coaching and training people on how to actually start an Airbnb business the right way with the same knowledge and experience that I have. From there, I started helping people get into their first property, how to do Airbnb, how to automate the business, and how to run it as a professional and not an amateur. Short story, 3 years later, sitting in 2026, I currently operate 20 plus Airbnb short-term rental properties, all through arbitrage. So I actually don't own any of these 20 properties, and I'm doing over 75 to 80,000 every single month on Airbnb's platform. Now, the best part about this business is that you can do it with 0% credit card, so you don't need a lot of money to get started. You can automate 90 to 95% of this business if you learn how to do it the right way. You can delegate most of the business. You can scale the business, and it's a business that creates pretty consistent cash flowing income. So it's not like trading or crypto where you're hoping things go up. Once you have the right properties up and running, you can pretty much know you're going to be making money every month over month, depending on the seasonality. So that's why I fell in love with the business, because it's something that anyone can do with the right information, the right work ethic, and having the right business mindset. Because most people, the reason they don't succeed in business is they don't develop the right mindset. With any business, you have to realize it's for the long run. I didn't care when I got into Airbnb what it's going to do for me 3 months from now, 6 months from now. I care what it's doing for me today, 3 years later, where I have 20 properties. I'm able to pay myself 5 figures every single month from it because of the business that I've built, and most of it is passive. So I can actually go live my life, have time freedom, I have money freedom, I can help other people. Like I bought my mom a car, I bought my dream car, I moved to Florida, got into a high-rise apartment. But all these things started by me focusing, locking in, and actually building a business that I know can give me the right rewards that I want. So that's a little bit about my journey and how I got into the Airbnb industry, how I've kind of scaled it. If you guys want to learn more about how Airbnb arbitrage works, you guys can definitely check out my page. I've breaking down videos on how Airbnb arbitrage works, how anyone can get started. I also have videos with a lot of my student interviews where I break down their journey working with me one-on-one as their coach in Airbnb, and how I've been able to help some of them get to 5, 10, 20, even have a few students that are doing 40, 50,000 a month on Airbnb. So if you guys are maybe looking for the right opportunity, you're looking to get into the real estate industry but don't have a lot of money, Airbnb arbitrage can really be that vehicle. And if you're looking for someone that can actually coach you, guide you, help you one-on-one, make sure that you guys click the link in the bio, watch some of my other videos, follow me on Instagram. That way you can learn a little bit more about myself. And if it's something that you guys are interested to get into, make sure that you either shoot me a message on YouTube or on Instagram, where we can have a conversation to see if this is going to be a good fit for you and how I can actually help you guys in this journey. So look forward to making some more videos here. And if you guys have questions, put them in the comment section and make sure that you subscribe.